Twin flame sudden crying explained, and what to do about you're simply going about your day as regular and all of a sudden you burst into tears. Your twin flame has been in your thoughts lots recently, and so it's fairly clear this has one thing to do with it. There's no marvel, the dual flame connection is extremely sturdy and brings up highly effective feelings, particularly if you're going by a separation. However, what does this sudden crying imply in your twin flame connection? This article will let you know every part you want to know and what it's best to do about it too. 9 biggest reasons for twin flame sudden crying. The commonest cause for twin flame sudden crying is a separation. However, there are different causes too, and they are often very important in your twin flame journey. Listed below are the 9 greatest causes for twin flame sudden crying. 1. The universe desires you to be collectively once more. You've certainly already skilled the energy of the dual flame connection. However, do you know that it goes method past your lives? These connections have deep divine, that means, which transcends the bounds of time, house, and distance. And what is the outcome? The complete universe conspires to make your twin flame journey occur. It nudges you in the fitting course till you grow to be conscious of this deep soul connection, and it guides you alongside the fitting course alongside the remainder of the journey. However, in fact, generally we nonetheless stray from the trail. In any case, we have now our personal human free will, and it's most human to make errors. So we will grow to be separated from our twin flames and go down separate paths. The universe desires to put you again on observe, and so it makes these emotions bubble up so as to remind you of the profound connection you might be lacking. That's proper. Your sudden crying might be a part of the universe's efforts to reunite you along with your twin flame. Preserve a watch out, and also you'll see many different indicators other than twin flame sudden crying. They could vary from angel numbers, vivid goals, or different indicators from the universe. 2. Your twin flame has skilled a loss or trauma. As you're a twin flame, the two of you might be linked on an emotional stage, in order that raises an attention-grabbing query. Do you feeling your twin flame's feelings? Should you're experiencing twin flame sudden crying, there's an excellent probability that the reply is sure. For instance, in case your twin flame has skilled a sudden loss or trauma of some type, you would possibly expertise these feelings too. Or they might even be one of many indicators your twin flame is lacking you. As these feelings come out of nowhere, your physique doesn't understand how to course of them. They're not rooted to something that occurred in your personal life. You don't have any clear method of processing them, and so this ends in twin flame sudden crying. 3. You're making an attempt to battle in opposition to your future. There's one debate that has been as outdated as people have been ready to suppose: free will versus destiny. The reality is, each of them exist, and which means that they will generally be pitted in opposition to one another. That is one other frequent cause for twin flame sudden crying. You is likely to be making an attempt to battle in opposition to your future. Deep down, you already know you're meant to reunite along with your twin flame. However, for no matter cause, you're making an attempt to battle in opposition to this. You don't really feel prepared. You're going by one thing, or possibly circumstances don't permit you to be collectively proper now. No matter, it's this sort of wrestle isn't simple. It takes its toll in you emotionally, and one of many negative effects is strictly this: twin flame sudden crying. It is a signal that what you've been making an attempt to do recently hasn't been good for you. You want to cease struggling and work collectively along with your future quite than in opposition to it. What's that precisely, you ask? Effectively, your state of affairs is solely distinctive, so even with our professional recommendation, it's unattainable to say precisely what it's best to do without listening to about your distinctive story and life path. And that's why we advocate getting a customized studying to actually deal with the problems you're dealing with. The important thing, nonetheless, is discovering somebody reliable to communicate to. After an extremely difficult time in my twin flame journey, I discovered that talking to an advisor from Psychic Supply gave me the energy and motivation to get my life again on observe. The advisor I spoke to was understanding of my state of affairs, and genuinely useful. My love studying made clear my state of affairs in a method I wasn't ready to see alone, and I used to be lastly ready to clear my head and heal my coronary heart. Not solely can a gifted advisor let you know the true cause you're experiencing, Twin flame sudden crying, however, they will reveal assist information you in your twin flame journey too. 4. You're nonetheless adjusting to being separated. It is actually frequent cause for twin flame sudden crying. Your twin flame separation is likely to be one thing very current, and so that you're nonetheless adjusting to being aside. Twin flame sudden crying can occur if you really feel the feelings of this separation as if it was simply yesterday. Actually, as the dual flame journey spans many lifetimes, regardless of how lengthy you've been separated on this life, comparatively talking, it truly is like yesterday. And the reality is you've already been aside out of your twin flame for a number of lifetimes. However, you had gotten used to this. After which, bam, your twin flame enters your life. This collision of mirror souls can shake up your entire world. For a second, you skilled a glimpse of the dual flame connection in its pure, divine kind, united. After which it's ripped from you once more. Even when your time collectively was quick, its intent sufficient to go away a really deep impression on you. Given all this, experiencing twin flame crying is completely regular, and likewise solely wholesome. It's your physique nonetheless processing the roller coaster of feelings it's gone by, and therapeutic the previous traumas that bubbled up consequently. 5. You want to launch emotional ache and frustration. Typically, if you're separated out of your twin flame, the resistance to reuniting can come from emotional ache and frustration you're carrying around. It's exhausting to inform what precisely is happening in your thoughts. Nevertheless, it's very doubtless that some emotional ache and frustration has been effervescent up inside you for some time now. Actually, assembly your twin flame usually makes previous damage floor. That is a part of what twin flames are about, serving to you to heal and develop. However, there's a type of catch-22. The difficulty is, this emotional ache and frustration are blocking your twin flame connection. They've allowed your ache to come up as a result of they may also help you heal from it. However, you don't really feel like being around them due to it. This sort of resistance is comprehensible and completely regular. Nevertheless, it's additionally one thing that wants to be handled. You want to handle these emotions earlier, then you'll be able to reconnect along with your twin flame once more. In any other case, they'll proceed to block the connection between the two of you, which is able to make reuniting far more troublesome than it already is. 6. The ache of the dual flame separation is simply too intense. It goes without saying that any type of breakup or separation is painful. However, the twin flame separation is an entire different stage. It's not only a bodily and emotional ache of being separated from somebody you care deeply about, and it's additionally the non-secular ache of being other than the opposite half of your soul. They're now not a part of your life proper now, and also you don't know once they'll come again. These emotions want some form of an outlet. Particularly should you've been making an attempt to push them down, they could all of a sudden erupt within the type of twin flame sudden crying. You would possibly even expertise twin flame crying in a dream. These emotions will also be provoked by different adverse occasions in your life, or in flip make you see issues round you in a extra adverse gentle. If this will get uncontrolled, it will possibly simply flip right into a spiral of adverse emotion that will get worse and worse as time passes. That's why it's so necessary to have a help system round you and preserve investing time within the folks and actions you're keen on. Be sure to don't put your life on maintain. Quickly, you'll reunite along with your twin flame quickly. However, you'll want to find a way to stand by yourself 2 toes and grow to be wholesome and entire first. 7. You see your twin flame in all places round you. As you undergo the dual flame separation section, you would possibly begin to see your twin flame in all places round you. It is a very regular part of being separated out of your twin flame. Your spirit continues to be reeling from this loss, and it's in search of this connection out wherever it will possibly. You would possibly suppose you've glimpsed their face on a billboard. Did the barista on the cafe simply name their identify? And you possibly can swear that person who walked by appeared identical to them for a breakup second. Naturally, these little reminders can carry all of the feelings of your assembly and separation again, leading to twin flame crying. However, there's one other risk to think about right here. These might truly be indicators from the universe meant for you. Your angels might be making an attempt to let you know one thing necessary, particularly should you've been seeing angel numbers pop up in all places like mushrooms after a wet day. What are they making an attempt to say? Their message will probably be distinctive to you and your state of affairs. However, fortunately, you don't want to determine it out all by yourself. As an alternative, attain out to a gifted advisor at Psychic Supply for a customized studying. Like I mentioned earlier, the gifted non-secular advisor there actually opened my eyes and helped me perceive that means behind all of the indicators I used to be seeing. Battling a twin flame separation isn't enjoyable. Nevertheless, it didn't faze the psychic I spoke to in any respect. They may also help you in textual content chat, a name or a video name, and it prices a lot lower than you would possibly suppose. 8. The dual flame connection was too intense. This one would possibly shock you a bit. However, one more reason for twin flame sudden crying is the drive of the connection itself. I'm not speaking about the separation section. I imply the time you and your twin flame spent collectively. The reality is, generally these feelings are so intense they grow to be downright painful. You may need been anticipating assembling your twin flame to really feel like taking a stroll alongside an exquisite seashore. However, in actuality, it's extra like taking your first dive right into a tumultuous ocean. So what does this imply? Is it an indication that you just and your twin flame aren't meant to be collectively? Not essentially. Twin flames are well known to carry up all kinds of feelings. Certainly one of their key roles within the universe is to heal previous traumas and assist their mirror souls develop. Nevertheless, this progress isn't at all times potential collectively. That is, partially, why there's a twin flame separation. Use this time to course of all of the feelings you're feeling at your personal velocity. Should you've actually met your twin flame, then you definitely will find a way to reunite with them as a healed particular person, and at last begin your journey to divine ascension. 9. You're not prepared for the dual flame connection, but there are a lot of the reason why you may not be prepared for a twin flame connection, but perhaps there's one thing else occurring that makes it unattainable for you to deal with anything. Or you've got some private issues occurring that stop you from being collectively. No matter, it's clear that now will not be the fitting time to be collectively along with your twin flame. However, wait, if twin flames are divine connections orchestrated by the universe, then why did you meet at the wrong time? The reality is, it was in all probability the fitting time in some side. Your twin flame popped into your life for a cause, even when it was simply to present you that this sort of connection exists. Perhaps they have been a catalyst to make you begin therapeutic previous trauma. It would take a while to determine this out. However, keep in mind there isn't a hurry. The whole lot in your twin flame journey is supposed to be, and it'll make sense within the grand scheme of issues. Within the meantime,